Welcome to the final activity in our training on cultural adaptability in restaurant and dining service. You've learned how culture shapes expectations, from the way guests are greeted, to how food is served, to how feedback is given. Now, you'll bring that knowledge to life by creating a space where three different cultures can come together and dine in comfort and harmony. This is the Table Setup Challenge. In this activity, you'll work in a small group of 3 to 4 students. Your task is to design a shared dining table setup that respects and accommodates three culturally distinct guests, each one representing a communication style from the Lewis model. One reactive guest, perhaps Japanese, Korean, or Chinese. One linear active guest, from cultures like Germany, Switzerland, or Finland. And one multi-active guest, such as Brazilian, Spanish, or Egyptian. Your challenge is simple, but not easy. How do you create one shared table that feels right to all three? Each of your guests brings different dining expectations, shaped by their culture, values, and habits. Let's take a closer look. Mr. Tanaka from Japan is likely to prefer calm, order, and minimalism, discreet service and quiet surroundings, separate portions rather than shared platters, a respectful seating arrangement, often with clear attention to hierarchy or formality. Ms. Bauer from Germany will expect a logical, structured place setting, symmetrical, clean, and efficient, punctual timing and clearly defined courses, individual cutlery for each course, little decoration, practicality over flourish. Mr. Costa from Brazil, on the other hand, may feel most comfortable with warmth and closeness. Shared dishes that encourage conversation, a touch of color or expressiveness in the table decor, a more fluid approach to time and structure. Your setup must respect each of these preferences, without letting one dominate the others. Begin by considering the layout. Would a round table promote more equality and ease of conversation compared to a square or rectangular one? Next, decide on the seating. Who sits where? Should the reactive guest be placed slightly apart to offer more personal space? Should the multi-active guest be seated in a more central or social position? Now look at utensils and dishware. Would you include chopsticks and a ceramic spoon for Mr. Tanaka? Would Ms. Bauer appreciate separate knives and forks for each course, laid out in the correct order? Would Mr. Costa feel at ease with a shared appetizer dish in the center of the table? Think about decorative elements. Could you add a soft, low floral arrangement, elegant enough for a reactive guest, tidy enough for a linear active one, and warm enough for a multi-active guest? What about the menu design? Should it be a shared menu with icons and translations? Should it show sequence clearly, or emphasize variety and flexibility? Even the smallest details, like the angle of a napkin or whether glasses are poured automatically, can carry cultural weight. Designing a multicultural table isn't about pleasing everyone 100%. It's about intention. It's about balance. It's about minimizing discomfort. So each guest feels respected and welcome, even if not everything is familiar. Ask yourself, where might cultural friction occur? Have we assumed too much comfort with formality, or too little? Are we prioritizing one guest's norms over others? Small compromises, like individual side dishes for one guest and a shared centerpiece for another, can go a long way. Once your table is complete, present your design to the class. Explain how each element of the setup respects a specific cultural expectation, what you intentionally included or excluded to meet different comfort levels, how your table creates a neutral, respectful zone where no one culture overwhelms the others. Your design should communicate. We see you, we thought of you, you belong here. In hospitality, space is never just physical. A table can feel welcoming or excluding. It can reflect understanding or ignorance. It can feel like a place to belong or a place to endure. This challenge asks you to see the table not just as a surface for serving food, but as a shared space where culture, comfort, and dignity meet. You've now practiced what few professionals take the time to consider: how to create a dining experience that speaks across cultures without saying a word.